What is up, everybody? This your boy X-Man 1991 coming to you back again with another video. Signing on. You know it's February and Black History Month is legendary. I want to wish everybody a happy Pokemon Day. Pokemon Day is today. It's been 30 years since Pokemon launched in Japan. Just showing y'all my Pokemon shirt in honor of Pokemon Day. So, we've got my official top 20 video games of the year 2003 list. Last Saturday, I was halfway getting done with this video, but my camera had a little bit of technical difficulties. So, we're all good now. So, maybe we can try this again without any interruption. And mind you, this is my list of my top 20 video games that came out in the year 2003. If you have your own list, let me know in the comments. And honorable mentions will be in my community post later. So let's get right into it. Number 20, Viewtiful Joe. Viewtiful Joe came out 9 days after my 12th birthday in June of 2003. So Joe has a girlfriend named Sylvia who gets kidnapped, and it's up to Viewtiful Joe to rescue her. I like the first Viewtiful Joe game, but I believe the second Viewtiful Joe game was much better. It's a pretty good game, without a doubt. Number 19, WWE Raw 2. The sequel to the first Raw game that came out a year before the second game. This game came out on my dad's birthday in 2003 in September, the same day DMX released his fifth album, Grand Champ, and Sheek Louch from the Lox released his solo debut album, Walk With Me. Raw 2 was slightly better than Raw 1. This was the last Raw game for the Xbox before it was succeeded by WrestleMania 21. Raw 2 has its ups and downs, but it's still much better than Raw 1. At least they took their time with Raw 2, because Raw 1, I feel like everything was rushed. That's why Raw 2 was much better. My only problem with WWE Raw 2 is every time you play the Royal Rumble and whenever you eliminate your opponent by throwing them over the top rope, the announcer says eliminated like this. Eliminated! I'm like, what the hell is that? You don't have to say eliminated like that. Just say it like this. Eliminated. Instead of eliminated. That's one thing I did not like about Raw 2 is how the announcer said eliminated during the Royal Rumble match. It makes my ears bleed hearing the announcer say eliminated like that. Why the hell did you have to say it like that? But overall, like I said, Raw 2, slightly better than Raw 1. Number 18, WrestleMania 19, the sequel to WrestleMania 18. This game came out a week before Raw 2 in September of 2003. I believe this was the first WWE game where you can make your opponent bleed, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it was either that game or SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. WrestleMania 19 to me was better than WrestleMania 18. Definitely a good game. SSX3, the third installment of the SSX series. I definitely like SSX3. pretty good snowboarding game, even though SSX Tricky is my favorite. SSX 3 has to be my second favorite next to SSX Tricky. #16, F-Zero GX. The second installment of the F-Zero series after F-Zero X for the Nintendo 64. This was another game that came out during the summer of 2003. Yeah, it came out on August 25th of 2003. Last year, they re-released this game on the Nintendo Classics for the Switch 2. And also, the main menu theme music did not have to go hard like that. That's what I like about the game. The music, the main menu music. The main menu music still goes hard 23 years later. #15, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. This was the first generation Pokemon games for the Game Boy Advance. It has 135 new Pokemon and major gameplay changes like double battles, Pokemon abilities, and natures. And they feature a new storyline where the player battles either Team Magma, Ruby, or Team Aqua, Sapphire. And since it is Pokemon Day, I'm glad I'm actually bringing this game up since today is Pokemon Day. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, it was definitely a good game for the Game Boy Advance. #14, Jak 2. The sequel to the second game. This was released on October 14, 2003, 3 days after Benny G94's 9th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. It also inspired by titles like GTA 3. The game was commercially successful. It was nominated for multiple awards, and it was succeeded by Jak 3 in 2004. Naughty Dog knew what they was doing when they was making a sequel to Jak and Daxter. Good game. #13, my favorite game of the Soul Calibur series, Soul Calibur 2. Another game that came out during the summer of 2003. This is my favorite game of the Soul Calibur series because if you own the GameCube version, you get to play as Link. That's the one reason why I like this game, because you get to play as Link in the GameCube version. It's a great Soul Calibur game. To me, Soul Calibur 2 is the best game in the Soul Calibur series. But Soul Calibur 3 is right up there. #12, the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Who never knew that the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would come out with a video game, especially how popular the show was during the first season run on the Fox box. It was released on October 21st, 2003. I got this game for Christmas 2 months after it came out, along with Tony Hawk's Underground. It was pretty much similar to the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade beat 'em up games. The only issue I have with this is You can only play this game with 2 players, but they pretty much fixed that when Battle Nexus came out a year later. And there's no block move in this game. How the hell can you block somebody's attacks if you can't even, there's no block move? That doesn't make any sense. And who gives a fuck what GameSpot has to say about this game, giving it negative reviews? It don't matter. The game is still decent, but it's not as good as the original TMNT arcade games. That's just my opinion. Especially me being a diehard fan of the 2003 series. Number 11, Crash Nitro Kart, the indirect sequel to Crash Team Racing. Crash Nitro Kart came out on Veterans Day of 2003. It's a good racing game, but even though Crash Team Racing was much better. This was also the last Crash Bandicoot game to have Clancy Brown voice Cortex. As much as I enjoy Lex Lane voicing Cortex, to me, Clancy Brown was the much better voice actor for him. Stephen Bloom, who we all know as Tom from Toonami, he did the voice of Crash in this game. John DiMaggio, aka Bender from Futurama, and Jake from Adventure Time did the voice of Tiny Tiger. Debbie Derryberry, who did the voice of Jimmy Neutron, she did the voice of Coco Bandicoot. And I can keep going of all the voice actors that they had in this game. But enough about that. Let's just get to my top 10 video games from 2003. Number 10, Mario Party 5. The 5th installment of the Mario Party series. The second Mario Party game for the GameCube. The first game to not have Donkey Kong as a playable character, but he has his own space on the board. They also had new playable characters such as King Koopa, Boo, and Toad. Mario Party 5 has to be my second favorite Mario Party game next to Mario Party 4. Shout out to Broken Champion, who did 2 4-player Friday Let's Plays of Mario Party 5. And the Super Gaming Brothers did 2 or 3 Let's Plays of Mario Party 5. Number 9, Mario Kart Double Dash. The 3rd or 4th kart racer in the Mario Kart series. The first game before Crash Tag Team Racing and Cartoon Network Racing, this was the first kart game to have 2 characters race together in one kart. You have your driver, whose kart is based on his speed, acceleration, and turning, and your co-driver, who's in charge of throwing weapons at your opponents. The only characters that I don't have unlocked yet is King Boo and P. Piranha, but I've unlocked everybody else. Those are the only 2 characters that I need to unlock. I got Mario Kart Double Dash for my 15th birthday 20 years ago. Yes, it's been 20 years since I got Mario Kart Double Dash. Well, not exactly. Once my birthday gets here, then it'll be 20 years since I got the game. This is my second favorite game in the Mario Kart series next to Mario Kart 64. Number 8, Madden NFL 2004. Madden NFL 2004, definitely much better than all the recent Madden games that came out lately. And they had Michael Vick on the cover of the game. The game had a budget of $8.6 million. And it was also comparable to other EA games such as NCAA Football 2004, and NASCAR Thunder 2004. And the soundtrack features various hip hop and rock songs. I'm not a fan of playing NFL games, but I definitely like Madden NFL 2004. Number 7, NBA Live 2004. This game, of course, has Vinsanity, Vince Carter, on the cover. I believe this was the last NBA Live game to have Michael Jordan, but they have him as a player in the 90s All-Stars team. Put Michael Jordan in the 90s All-Stars team with the rookie LeBron James. And you know, MJ, if you put him against MJ against LeBron in a one-on-one game in NBA Live 2004, you know MJ would destroy the hell out of LeBron. And this was LeBron's rookie year as well as Melo's. The soundtrack is dope. They have songs from artists like Chingy, Freeway, Jermaine Dupri, The Game, Outkast, Mobb Deep, and the list goes on. Definitely like NBA Live 2004. Number 6, Sonic Heroes. Yeah, I know this game came out in the US in 2004, but since it came out before 2003 came to an end, I had to put it on this list. Sonic Heroes is a game where you have three characters teaming up. You have Team Chaotix, Team Rose, Team Dark, and Team Sonic. I choose Team Sonic and Team Dark because they're obviously the best teams in that game, especially Team Sonic. I used to rent this game at Blockbuster before I had my own copy for my 17th birthday. It's my second favorite Sonic game next to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle from the 2000s. And Sonic Riders is right up there as well. Now it's time for my top 5 video games from the year 2003. Kicking off at number 5, I have The Simpsons Hit and Run. We all know The Simpsons Hit and Run is definitely a parody of GTA. This has to be the second best Simpsons video game next to The Simpsons Road Rage and, of course, The Simpsons arcade game. This game came out also on my dad's birthday in 2003 in September. This is the 22nd game of the Simpsons video game series. Yep. Simpsons Hit and Run has to be the second best Simpsons video game. I'm actually glad this game did receive positive reviews. It sold 3 million copies worldwide by June of 2007, and it received an award for favorite video game at the 2004 Nickelodeon Australian Kids' Choice Awards. It also received a Greatest Hits label on the PlayStation 2, Platinum Hits label for the Xbox, and of course Player's Choice label for the GameCube. Definitely love The Simpsons Hit and Run. Number 4, Tony Hawk's Underground. Just like the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, I got this game for Christmas. My favorite thing about Tony Hawk's Underground is the soundtrack, especially the hip hop section. They have songs from artists like Nas, People Under the Stairs, The Jurassic 5, AC Alone, J Live, The Juggernauts, the soundtrack with Tony Hawk's Underground is dope, especially the hip hop section. Please let me know in the comments if you have passed the part in the story mode where you have to jumping over the bridge to get past the cops. It's been 23 years or nearly 23 years since the game came out, and I still can't get past those damn cops. So if you pass those cops in the story mode, let me know in the comments, how do you jump over that bridge without getting caught by the cops? That is my only problem with Tony Hawk's Underground, but otherwise, it's still a good skateboarding game. Number 3, WWE SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. The 5th and final installment of the SmackDown series. Of course, we consider this the GOAT game in the SmackDown series, because this was the first game in the SmackDown series to have a first blood match, first Elimination Chamber match, and a first bra and panties match. It was also the last WWE game to feature Rikishi and Val Venis until WWE 2K14 as downloadable content. It was also the last WWE game to feature Test before he passed away in 2009, and the first and only WWE game to feature Ultimo Dragon. They also have legends you can unlock, such as Undertaker in his gimmick, in his Dead Man gimmick. You have Rowdy Roddy Piper, Sergeant Slaughter. I can't remember the legends that are in this game. You can also unlock attires for each wrestler. It is also the last game to feature The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin as non-legends. This game came out the same day Tony Hawk's Underground did. And it was the first game in the SmackDown series to not be named after one of The Rock's famous catchphrases. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, the best game in the SmackDown series. That's all I got to say about that. I'm going to wrap the intro to the game that I have at number 2. Bounce, bounce. Now who got game when it comes to this basketball? Face of other opponents that's over 6 feet tall. Can you shoot a 3-pointer? Can you do the finger roll? Can you cross over, drop it down, and then take it to the hole? Can you hoop it up, alley-oop it up? And when the ball is loose, see how fast you can scoop it up. Have your game face on. I hope you quick on your feet, playing on concrete, taking NBA to the streets with my players in the front of me, yeah, yeah. While my shorties in the back of me, yeah, yeah. My players on the right, my shorties on the left. Better play for keeps, taking NBA to the streets. That's right, NBA Street Volume 2. There's nothing more I can say about NBA Street Volume 2 besides being it the GOAT game in the NBA Street series. And in my opinion, it's the best basketball game, better than the other basketball games that came before or after it. No offense to all the other NBA games that came out before NBA Street Volume 2, but this right here is the best basketball game, period. Everything they took from NBA Street Volume 1, they put it in Volume 2 and made it better. Instead of having just one game breaker, you get to have 2 game breakers. The mechanics in NBA Street Volume 2 is better than the mechanics in the first game. My favorite thing about NBA Street Volume 2 is the soundtrack. They have songs from artists like Nelly, Nate Dogg, Black Sheep, Lords of the Underground, MC Lyte, Eric Sermon featuring Redman, Dilated Peoples featuring Talib Kweli, Lords of the Underground, Benzino, and instrumentals by Just Blaze. And you can also play as Nelly and the Saint Lunatics. And of course, the announcer of the game is, of course, Papito Garcia, aka DJ Cucumber Slice. He did a phenomenal job as the announcer of this game. And they brought him back as the announcer in NBA Street V3. The 5 teams that I play as are my Houston Rockets, the LA Lakers, the Washington Wizards, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Dallas Mavericks. You already know who I pick when I play as the Lakers. Kobe, Shaq, and Derek Fisher. Even though it hits different playing these old NBA games because Kobe is no longer with us. As my Rockets, I pick the franchise Steve Francis, Coutinho the Cat Mobley, and Yao Ming. The Wizards, Michael Jordan, Jerry Stackhouse, and Larry Hughes. The Mavericks, Michael Finley, Dirk Nowitzki, and Steve Nash. And the Spurs, Timmy Duncan, the Admiral David Robinson, and Steve Smith. Speaking of Michael Jordan, they have 3 versions of Michael Jordan. The 1985 Michael Jordan, the 1996 Michael Jordan, and the 2003 Michael Jordan. Besides MJ, they have other NBA legends like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Birthday Boy Big Game James Worthy, Pistol Pete Maravich, Wilt the Still Chamberlain, Dominique Wilkins, Isaiah Zeke Thomas, Jerry West, Bill Russell, Wilt the Still Chamberlain, Clyde the Clyde Drexler, Walt Clyde Frazier, and the list goes on. NBA Street Volume 2 definitely needs a remastered. They need to remaster this game. Now I'm sure you all know which game from 2003 is my number 1. And this is no surprise. If you don't know which video game from 2003 is my number 1, I'll recite the intro to you to refresh your memory. Used to be, you wanted to make yourself known. You prove your work as a street fighter or a hustler. We don't fight out in the streets no more. We organize in how we too gangster for the garden, so we taking it underground. Inside. I'm a businessman, and this is my business. My soldiers are Legion, Method Man, Nori, Capone, Luda, Redman, DMX. You want a shot at me, you gotta make it past these brothers. It's a dangerous world out here, since every time I turn around, there's another young buck wants to take me on. I lay down for no man. You want to take what's mine? You gotta beat me. But nobody ever beats me. Number 1, Def Jam Vendetta. You probably saw this coming. Before Def Jam Vendetta, it was going to be another WCW NWO game, but due to WWE buying WCW in 2001, they canceled that plan. And so EA Games and Def Jam, they got together and made this phenomenal wrestling game called Def Jam Vendetta. Mixed with wrestling and hip hop. It's nothing, just like NBA Street Volume 2, there's nothing more I can say about Def Jam Vendetta besides it being the greatest wrestling game, especially when it comes to, wrestling mixed with hip hop. It's the first game in the Def Jam series. And it was a success that they made a sequel, Def Jam Fight for New York, which was even better. The artists that they have in Def Jam Vendetta are Ludacris, DMX, Capone and Noriega, Method Man and Redman, Keith Murray, Joe Budden, soon to be Birthday Boy Method Man, Scarface, Keith Murray, Joe Budden, Dub C, Ghostface Killah, DJ Funkmaster Flex, and Christina Milian is the voice of Angel. Def Jam Vendetta, hands down, is the best wrestling game of all time. We have 2 cast members from this game that are deceased. Paige Gray, who did the voice of Deja, and of course DMX. Paige Gray, who voiced Deja, she's been gone for 15 years, and this year will be 5 years since we lost DMX. DMX, to this day, is still the hardest rapper to beat in the story mode. This is not a joke. X is still the hardest nigga to beat in this game. One time when I was playing the story mode in Def Jam Vendetta in the hard mode, X tried to do his blazer move on me 4 times and he failed. I'm not sure how long it took me to beat him, but X, be careful when you fight DMX in the story mode because you know he's going to give you problems. Def Jam Vendetta is my #1 video game of the year 2003. With that being said, that wraps up my top 20 video games from the year 2003. What are your favorite video games from that year, 2003? Next list I will review is my top 20 TV shows from the year 2001 coming March 1st. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this shit, comment if you want to. What do you got to lose? So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. This is X-Man 1991. Signing off. You guys take it easy out there. Y'all be safe. Holla at your boy. Catch you in my next rant. Until then, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. No more talk.